we are again in my little kitchen in Lecce in the south of Italy. My name is Francesco and today I've got another simple summer recipe for you. I'm going to make a Mediterranean couscous using some fresh vegetables, a couple of olives, caper berries, fresh herbs like basil, thyme and mint. And all I'm going to need is a good extra virgin olive oil, some vinegar, and that's all I'm going to need to dress it. All the flavors are going to come from the ingredients. I'm going to pre-cook some of them like carrot, celery, some green pepper and some tropea onion. You don't really want those to be raw, so what's going to happen is that I'm going to make the broth that the couscous cooks in using those vegetables to flavor it. So they're going to be packed with flavor. It's going to be very easy to make, very healthy, and I hope you enjoy it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, do leave a comment and do subscribe. Come back and follow me for more. Let's cook. For today's recipe you are going to need couscous, a selection of vegetables. I'm using cucumber, carrot, celery, onion, I'm using a tropea onion, green pepper, salad tomatoes, olives, caper berries, some dried oregano and fresh herbs. I'm using parsley, mint, basil and thyme. You're also going to need a little vinegar and some good extra virgin olive oil. Let's begin by peeling, topping and tailing a small carrot and then cutting it into a relatively fine dice. We're then going to do the same thing with the stalk of celery. We're going to be boiling these vegetables together with the green pepper and the onion just for a few minutes so that they're not completely raw in the couscous. This is going to give us a little bit of a broth that will flavour the couscous, and it will take away the harsh raw flavour, especially of the onion. If you cut your vegetables quite small like this, they're only going to need 3 or 4 minutes at the most of cooking, and that's for the whole dish. We're going to heat up just a little water in a wide flat pan, add a good pinch of coarse sea salt, and as soon as the water comes up to the boil we can add those vegetables, the carrot, celery and the green peppers. Let these boil, as I said, for 3 or 4 minutes, just until they begin to become slightly soft. You want the vegetables to be just covered by water, so add a little bit more if necessary. After 3 or 4 minutes we can go straight in and spread our couscous over the top nice and evenly. At this point we want to turn off the heat. We're going to add that little bit of chopped onion and we're going to put on the lid and let it sit for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, check to see how you're doing for moisture. This has turned out perfectly and the couscous has absorbed all of the water. Give it a stir through so that the onion can now soften just a little bit more. We don't want it to get soft. And put on the lid and let it sit there until you've prepared the rest of your ingredients, which I forgot to film. So what you're going to do is to slice some of the cucumber, some of the tomato and dice the rest. And you also need to chop some parsley and basil, which we're going to add in just a few minutes. Now, after about 15 or 20 minutes in all, the couscous is totally light and fluffy, the vegetables have softened enough and they've infused their flavour into the couscous. Now we can add the cold ingredients, the chopped cucumber and the tomatoes. We're going to season with some freshly ground black pepper, a generous sprinkle of oregano, a good splash of white wine vinegar, and a drizzle of your best extra virgin olive oil. Now all we need to do is to stir everything through and get everything well incorporated. Once the couscous is completely cold, we can add the chopped herbs. And now we're ready to serve. Make your couscous look pretty using the sliced cucumber and tomatoes that we'd set aside earlier, like so. Now we can add our olives and our caper berries, the rest of our fresh herbs, the mint and the fresh thyme, which we're just going to pluck straight on top, the last sprinkle of oregano for the tomatoes and cucumber, and a final drizzle of that good extra virgin olive oil. And now we are ready to enjoy. By the way, after all that fuss decorating the couscous, you can see it still looks pretty when it's all mixed up. Buon appetito!